All right, it is time for us to check in as we do every Tuesday afternoon with Dr. Joe Schwarz. By the way, you can hear Dr. Joe every Sunday at 3 o'clock here on CJAD 800, and he is full-time job, director of the McGill Office for Science and Society. Joe, I sent you a story this morning on organic foods. The basic story, I think, if we can summarize it, was, you know what? If you're eating organic foods because you think they will, are healthier for you or will stave off disease, you might want to think twice. And you wrote me back saying, hey, this is more of the same. We already know this, right?
Yeah. We've discussed this before. I think just about every year when the Environmental Working Group in Washington comes out with their Dirty Dozen list as spring rolls around and people are starting to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables. And then they vilify a number of these by saying that they are laden with pesticides. Now, to get the thing straight, I mean, let's face it, pesticides are toxic, right? I mean, that's why they are made, in order to kill either weeds or insects. So nobody questions the fact that pesticides are potentially dangerous. However, no company is allowed to just on a whim decide that we're going to use this pesticide in this fashion. It has to go through various regulatory hurdles in the U.S. With FDA, although who runs the FDA now, nobody knows, and what they're going to be doing or not doing, nobody knows. But in Canada, it's Health Canada. And Health Canada oversees the Office for Pesticide Management. So there's a lot of data that has to be submitted. And then the government decides that you can use this pesticide at such a dose on such a crop, how many times, etc., and what the residues are allowed. And the residues are determined through toxicity studies on animals. You determine what is called the NOAEL level, the No Observed Adverse Effect level, whereby you give animals, either mice or rats, increasing doses of the substance until some effect is seen, and then you build in a safety factor of 100 when it comes to human exposure. So there's a lot of regulatory stuff that goes on before something is released onto the market. Now, the Environmental Working Group comes out with their Dirty Dozen based on the number of pesticide residues that are found. So, for example, last year, I think it was strawberries, because they found that there were more pesticide residues on strawberries than on other fruits. Mm-hmm. But it is not the number of pesticides that matters. It is the amount. And they don't pay any attention to that. Yes, there may have been more different pesticides on strawberries, but they were all way, way below the level that is allowed as maximum. So it doesn't matter how many different. The question is, what is their sum total?
Right.
And it was much less than anything to worry about. So I think what we have to say there is the most important thing is to get your 5 to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Whether it's organic or not should be a secondary consideration. Prime consideration should be to get them. And unfortunately, it's not happening in North America. You know what the average is, given the fact that we are recommending, at least 5 to 7. You know what it is?
What are we talking about here in terms of number of servings?
The number of servings of fruits and vegetables combined a day.
A day.
On average North American.
1?
Yeah, 1.8 actually. Mm. But that's taking French fries, believe it or not, as
as a vegetable.
As a vegetable.
Okay.
Exactly. So this is where the emphasis has to be on how do we get people to eat more fruits and vegetables. And if money is not a concern, yes, organic has fewer pesticide residues. Whether that's meaningful or not, nobody really knows. But if you want to sort of soothe your soul, but I think it would be better to use the same amount of money to buy more fruits and vegetables.
By the way, it's just a matter, or is it just a matter of you're coming home, if you're concerned with pesticides on fruit and vegetables, you wash your fruits and vegetables. Is there a question as to how much that actually reduces or whether it actually seeps into the fruit? How does that work?
Actually, the real reason that you need to wash your fruits and vegetables is because of bacterial contamination. That's the much better reason. Pesticides, if they are on the surface, they will be washed off, but pesticides also can soak into the fruits or vegetables. So, but the washing is important because bacterial contamination is a far bigger issue than pesticide residues.
By the way, with respect to this list that you talk about, the Dirty Dozen, which is the 12 fruits or vegetables that have the most pesticides, is there some question as to who comes up with this list?
This is the Environmental Working Group in Washington, which is an organization that is very silent about the fact that they get funding from the organic industry.
Oh.
So
I see.
Yeah. And they're the ones who see a boogeyman behind every bush, you know. And the fact is in life that there are boogeymen behind bushes, but they are not behind every bush. And you have to know how to evaluate risk and what is important and what is not important and when you should be scaring people and when not.
All right. I like what you said. If you have the money, you want to buy organic, that's all well and good. If not, just buy more and eat more fruits and vegetables.
That's it.
Wash them off and we're good to go. Joe, we'll leave it at that. I thank you. We'll talk to you next week.